And we are live, which I'm going to confirm. Now I should have done this like 30 seconds ago, but we will see if the audio is working okay.
Now I should have done
There
this
we go.
like 30.
There we go. Audio is working good.
A projectile is just falling onto that area or falling into the sea.
Oh, this picture.
Area.
Oh, I can see this picture here. This has got to be Dubai. Like Dubai has
as well.
Let's see. Dubai has these
36 hours
crazy
laundry list we're just looking at. We are expecting, but we're so currently
how long have they
been
brought?
that is.
3 hours.
I think panel at least a relate. Apparently, a projectile is just falling onto that area or falling into the sea.
Yeah, this is Dubai. I could tell from how they shape these little places here. There is a hotel right next to this that just got bombed, and it's a very expensive hotel. Man, I feel bad for the people who just said, "Oh, I'm going to go to this hotel." Probably no free refunds, and they're there at the hotel, so like they don't want to cancel, and they're like, "Oh, what's the chance that Iran's going to bomb a civilian hotel?" And this is exactly what they did.
Near that area. Now, also very cool little thing they did here with that little palm tree on the ground. It's pretty cool. But apparently an intercepted object fell just...
And this little thing here, this is actually the sea. They've, Dubai has, is it Dubai or Abu Dhabi? I think it's Dubai. They actually spent a lot of money to raise this structure. And there's a hotel to the right of it. I don't know if it's this one or the one next to it.
Just north of the palm tree right here, and almost hit it a moment ago.
But yeah, they bombed like the hotel.
That's unfortunate.
That was right next to a structure like this.
We do understand.
Hey, Ernest Connell.
Found himself under significant attacks, at least for the entirety of the conflict so far, actually, and it does appear the large amount of missiles and drones have been fired, at least at the point.
Oh man, I'll tell you, Ernest Connell and Tan, I've gotten like no sleep in the last day because I was so interested in just listening to what's going on. Like even I woke up around one in the morning last night and I couldn't fall back asleep. I was just like, I gotta listen to what's going on. But this is the biggest war certainly that America's had since the George W. Bush attacked. It was like attacking Iraq, not Afghanistan, believe it or not. Like Afghanistan was kind of boring, but attacking Iraq was very interesting.
Specifically towards Dubai once again, which is finding itself in another air defense scenario.
But yeah, I've been paying attention for like the last
at this moment.
Almost last 2 days.
To see as well some other interesting developments that have been going on within the area of Baghdad, as we have seen that the riots around the U.S. embassy there are continuing, and we actually were able to hear that apparently gunfire is now broken out by the Iraqi forces that are defending the embassy. We don't believe that the rioters or the protesters, whatever you want to call them, have made it to the actual perimeter of the embassy. They're actually running into an Iraqi armored,
hello, Ms. Balboni.
That's outside.
Hello, Go Hard Brother.
And we can see here that apparently they started.
I do know Go Hard Brother from somewhere. Where do I know him from? I'm wondering if we've talked before. I think we might have talked before. Yeah, I don't know. But
crowd or into the crowd, we're not really sure.
Yeah, I know the name. I know the name. I know you've been around for a long time, like at least 4 or 5 years. Whoa. Hold on, I have to turn the volume down.
So it appears that the Iraqi military got tired of playing patience and started to just get down to dispersing.
Yeah,
this
is insane what's going on.
Involved in the riot control.
Well, it's insane for a couple of reasons. One, that it's insane because Iran has now attacked 7 different countries. And one thing you learn, and you could draw this all the way back to World War II, is if if you're gonna attack other countries, be very wary and be very careful of creating a war on two fronts. And it looks like they're doing things that other countries like Saudi Arabia, just for an example, Saudi Arabia had a strict restriction on not allowing the US to launch their offensive military jets and stuff from Saudi Arabia. But with the attacks on Saudi Arabia, it would not be surprising if Saudi Arabia now allows the US to launch assets from their territory. That's the first thing. And the second thing is maybe Saudi Arabia, maybe they just start launching their own shit from there to Iran, right? Very possible.
At least at that point, a decent amount of them had been. So we're not really sure if they were firing at the crowd or above the crowd, because we hear that it may have actually been warning shots, but it appears that the situation has gotten out of control. We did get to hear, on the other hand, though, that down in Karachi, U.S. consulate security, which we believe would be the United States Marines.
So her brother says, I think we are about to take Cuba while Middle East is cooking. Yeah. Taking Cuba is very, very, very poor. Cuba has a bunch of issues. One of their biggest issues is they have they cannot produce their own oil. They rely on other countries. So if you have a blockade against Cuba, you're just going to grind it. You're going to grind it to a halt.
Killing several after they were able to actually penetrate the gates around the U.S. consulate, and they began to storm.
And the people, like the average person in Cuba, they're not like religious fanatics that would just support the government.
Usually security personnel for consulates and embassies is the United States Marines. Apparently the Marines that were on the embassy and consulate detail fired live rounds at the crowd, instructing.
Yeah, I think I agree. I agree with Gohar about, like, I think the problems that Cuba would have going forward, because they're not a rich country to begin with. They used to back I don't know, 60, 70, 80 years. They used to be one of the best sugar producers in the world, but a lot of mismanagement and stuff. They're just not there anymore. They're one of the poorer countries. They're richer than Haiti, but they're still pretty poor.
And wounded a large deal of others to be able to disperse the crowd. The crowd disbursement at that point did work. And
so,
I also have to say,
what would you say? What would you say about the people rising up and revolting in Cuba? There isn't like I don't think there's a great, like, from what I've seen, the population hating the government. Like in Iran, you can see there's probably like half the population really hates the Iranian government. And there is a smaller percentage that are really for the Iranian government. And it probably depends on how you've been treated. I don't know if I see that so much in either direction in Cuba. Like my knowledge of Cuba is actually a lot less than most countries. Yeah, so I did learn a lot about Cubans, both to go hard and to Ernest, because I did watch the George Lopez show, which was a great comedy. I did like the George Lopez show a lot. I love the dynamic between George Lopez and his mom. Oh, that was wonderful.
That the use of lethal force is authorized on consulates and embassies whenever there is a threat of the embassy being overrun and the safety and security of the consular staff or the embassy staff being in jeopardy. Lethal force is almost always authorized, and that's the reason why that sort of an action was taken within Karachi, from what we would understand. And if y'all watch,
there's so much going on right now in the Middle East, and I see like a picture within all this thing that's going on with Iran. There's also there's a conflict. There's two kind of conflicts right now. There's a conflict between Pakistan and Afghanistan. They're not. People are reporting they're at like total war. I don't think right now. I think this is just a skirmish between Pakistan and Afghanistan. But some hardline Iranian civilians within Pakistan, it's been reported, are now attacking like the U.S. consulate in Pakistan. So, and I've seen video footage of that as well.
Clear that if they had made it into the consulate, things would have gone much worse from there. Moving on from that, however, we have also been able to see the United States Navy through Central Command's publishing.
Let me bring that back, that picture, because I'll show you like all the things
were
that
able to actually penetrate the gates.
Iran is attacked. They have attacked. Let's see.
And killed authorized on
this fast forwarding. Okay, Iran is attacked. Right here. Yeah, it's hard to see because all these bookmarks. This is the UAE and the two big cities of Dubai and Abu Dhabi. Yeah, Iran has attacked civilian infrastructure there in the UAE, even though UAE did not attack Iran. Qatar is right. It's right kind of above there. I was in Qatar a couple weeks ago, and I was a bit nervous. Things were starting to heat up a lot. Qatar is right there. Qatar got attacked. To the northwest of Qatar, you can't see it so much here, but Bahrain was attacked. I've just heard Saudi Arabia was attacked. I think they're saying Riyadh. So it wasn't just like some no-name place. Riyadh's a pretty big city. And Kuwait was attacked, and Iran was attacked, and of course, I've heard Jordan, like a base in Jordan was attacked, and of course Israel is going to be attacked. So I've heard like Iran actually opened, and this could be one of their downfalls, because none of these countries, besides Israel that I just named, were either attacking Iran or allowing U.S. assets. Although Iran, could we have attacked Iran with U.S. assets? I'm not sure about Iraq, though. I'm not sure about Iraq.
Worse from there. Moving on from that, however, we have also been able to see the United States Navy through Central Command's publishings today continuing to fire larger amounts of TLAM Tomahawk cruise missiles into the Islamic Republic.
Go Tomahawks! I think Tomahawks. They're used by certainly the U.S. Navy. I believe they're also used by the UK, the UK Royal Navy, and I'm going to say the Australian Navy. I think those are like the three countries, maybe the Netherlands too. I think I remember reading at one point the Netherlands Navy actually has access to Tomahawks as well. Great, it's a great weapon. I think Raytheon makes them.
Be right here.
Very accurate. Oh, did he? Did Gabriel Traver get stuck in Doha? Yeah, I was just in Doha myself 2 weeks ago. Yeah, I got there and I was getting nervous. Then I saw like two things that were happening. One, that the U.S. started bringing over the other carrier group from the Caribbean. I guess they gave up on chasing down Johnny Depp in Pirates of the Caribbean and just started bringing their carrier group over. So they were bringing their second carrier group over, and I did see that there was still flights from Doha to Tehran. So when I saw that, that actually made me really happy. I'm like, oh, okay, flights are still going on from Doha to Tehran. So I was like, okay, I guess I'm good to leave the country.
And we see the impacts of those Tomahawks down the way. I got to say, Tomahawks do have a lot of explosive firepower behind them. I mean,
well,
look at that.
I hope for Gabriel's sake, I hope he has a good credit card that with travel insurance. So like you get a good credit card, they'll actually pay for any kind of inconvenience that happens, as long as it's not your fault. but they'll pay for if you need like a hotel for the night. If you need if you get stuck there and like all your stuff is in your suitcase, you could just get the receipts. You need a toothbrush, you need toothpaste, and they'll help you with that.
See why Ukraine wants them.
We would like to have them. It's like I think we are understating the amount of explosives in these, because that looks a good bit larger than 1,000 pounds. If you ask me, that's like 2,000 maybe.
Yeah, it's a big one. I can definitely understand why Ukraine would want it. Also, these things are highly accurate. Like I don't know what the exact like parameters are for the accuracy of that missile, but it is very accurate.
I believe it has a margin of error of about 20 feet, so it's hitting the target. Whatever it is,
I have heard that
usually
myself. The Tomahawks are very, very accurate.
Wider than 20 feet, that would be a target of a Tomahawk, so it is going to hit its target no matter what. Very pinpoint. But moving on from that, we've also been able to see that within Qatar, it does appear that there was.
Oh, let's look in Qatar. Unfortunately, Gabriel travel. Hold on, let me just show Qatar again.
Tomahawk, so it is going to hit its target no matter.
Qatar is really, really small.
But moving on from that, we've also been able to see that
it's small, but if you look at the GDP per person, it's so high because you don't have a lot of people in here, and they do oil. They do a lot of oil. It's funny, like a small country like this will have a really high per person GDP just because of how much oil they have. It's also one of the hardest countries to get a citizenship for. If you just want to move and live in Qatar, it's actually really hard.
Within Qatar, it does appear that there was a large fire at this U.S. base, and it does seem as though the Iranians have been able to land some significant hits on this facility. We do understand that most, if not all, U.S. military facilities within Qatar were evacuated prior to the attacks on Iran. So there isn't an incredibly large threat of U.S. personnel being at high risk here or a high casualty event unfolding inside of Qatar. And I believe, I don't know.
One of the safest places to be, Ernest, is I think if you're in Qatar, not Qatar, if you're in the UAE, and you know how the UAE, either like Dubai or Abu Dhabi, they have these huge hotels. Just stay in a hotel that's between Iran and not between, like you have Iran and then you have a huge hotel. Stay in a small hotel like right after that. I think you're safe there. There's no way those Shaheeds are going to be able to dip down and target a real small hotel right after those big hotels right on the coast.
What the hell that is?
Crazy siren on that. That sounds like it's almost added or something. It's too loud.
I think it might be, so we're going to mute that, but we can actually see the footage here of the facility burning in the distance. So we do
a lot of crap going on. I'd say that this is
have been sustained by U.S. forces.
This is the most interesting war since
in the midst of the counter strikes by the Iranians, but the fire
obviously
is quite large.
Since
it appears
2022,
to be a significant part of the facility.
On February 24th.
Moving us on from that footage there, we're also going to be moving on into some other news and
developments
that we've also been able to hear out of the rest of the region, as we've also heard at this point that within the area at Tabriz, we were able to confirm that air defenses were hit within that area just a little while ago while we were live on air, and we've also been able to see that further damage has been caused within Tehran due to significant strikes by the United States Air Forces. We were able to confirm that the IRIB.
One thing I saw yesterday, it was actually early this morning. I went downstairs. I think it was around 6 a.m. I've been up since, I don't know, 1 o'clock. But I think I might have been able to fall asleep for an hour. But I went downstairs at like 6 this morning, and I saw they were showing clips of inside Tehran. It was interesting because there was so many, you hear in the background, like so many people cheering because the news just came out about the Ayatollah. And you hear so many people in the background just cheering.
Was hit directly within Tehran. We can see in this airstrike here a direct impact onto the building.
This is a great view. The clip here. This is a great view of just how big some cities are. You look at this. This makes Pattaya look really, really small. Because whatever you see here, it probably goes around. You could just do a 360 view, and it goes around every other direction. There's so many people that live here.
appear to be knocking out more significant capabilities of the Iranian central government. We've also been able to see more strikes that were happening a little bit of a while later, and we also were able to confirm, due to satellite photography gathered by the Institute for the Study of War, that the Tarala HQ in Tehran, responsible for security in Tehran, has largely been destroyed by airstrikes as well. Apparently, this is the first line of protest. The first line of defense against protests, meaning that law enforcement activities within Tehran may be greatly stymied due to the actions that were developing around the area, which now led to the destruction of the Tarala HQ. Additionally, we also were able to see video footage in the day of more significant strikes that were being conducted by U.S. and Israeli forces against the Islamic Republic of Iran's capital. You can see all the hits in the distance. It appears to be about a dozen or so across the wider area. We see them here continuing to observe the smoke.
Yeah,
from these
you're right.
Explosions.
You're right, Ernest. Tehran population is very, very large. I agree. It's got to be one of the biggest, probably one of the 10 biggest populations of all the cities. I know Moscow's up there. I know like Tokyo's up there. Los Angeles, New York City's got to be up there.
However, it does appear that the missiles were able to land on their marks. We can hear another missile coming in at this point. And we can also see the smoke continuing to rise from the prior explosions. And we can still hear even further missiles coming in and slamming into their targets. But we actually have breaking news coming out of this moment. Matthew, what do we got?
Okay, so let's jump into some breaking news right now. First of all, I have two different stories. The two we're going to go over is we did get a video showing the attack by Iran against Jerusalem. Apparently, there might have been an.
Oh, this is the this is the Riyadh strike.
Just a second, though.
Let me pause that for a second. This is the Riyadh strike. Oh shit! What was I going to say? I was going to say something. Damn! I forgot what I was going to say. I was going to say something interesting.
So the big deal is, though, we are currently hearing that we've gotten a statement from the foreign ministers of the Gulf Cooperation Council, which is basically the organization that's been getting slammed hard by Iran for the past day or so. Bahrain, Kuwait, Oman, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and the UAE. They say they reserve the right to respond under Article 51 of the UN Charter. That's a good sign. Of course, you know, a really good sign would be that they simply start attacking Iran and defending themselves. That would be
They reserve. Okay, most of the countries there, yes. Obviously, it would say we have the right to reserve under Article 51 of the UN Charter, but they actually don't. None of these countries really want to be the first to respond because they know, first of all, they know what they could do just pales in comparison to what either the U.S. or Israel could do, right? Because they could do something, but if the U.S. and Israel are going to do it themselves, like why would they put themselves out there? So it makes sense just to say we reserve the right to respond.
A sign, but they're a little bit slow to warm up to the idea of defending their country. So fair enough. They're currently saying they're going to reserve the right to respond, meaning that they are leaning toward probably responding, but they got to find.
Oh, I don't know about that. He says they're leaning towards responding. I would highly doubt that at this point, unless their sovereignty is at risk. I think sovereignty is the right word to use. I don't know. I don't know if I would say they are likely to respond when they got two big bullies called the U.S. and Israel that can do the work for them. Why would they respond? So I do kind of disagree with him on that point.
Them to actually turn on their friend in the region, which is Iran. So they're citing the UN Charter. So that is interesting, but that is a signal that they could be about to change their position shortly. But Enforcer, what do you think about that before we move into our Jerusalem news?
This appears to be giving us an idea that everybody in the Middle East is about to start jumping Iran, because saying that you have a right to respond generally means that you're about to bomb them. Like that.
No. That's not what it means. Saying you have the right to respond. Sorry. I'm I have this channel going, so I do like the fact that they bring news out very quickly. I think that's totally not the case. They would much more likely to say, I we're going to let the U.S. use our facilities to launch, but we're not actually going to send our own missiles to kill people. We're going to let the U.S. use our base. That's way more likely to happen.
They're just saying, we could bomb them if we want to. They make these sorts of statements deliberately in the UN to say we're about to bomb someone and we reserve the right to bomb them. That's why. So we are probably going to be seeing that there's going to be significant elements.
So Ernest, you say Iran regime. Oh, Iran regime's hoping China, Russia. Oh, yes, Iran is hoping anyone at this point will try to bail them out. Iran was getting military assets from China recently. I don't know about Russia. Like Russia's having, they're having their own problems right now in some war they started back in 2022. So I don't know how much the assets they're getting from Russia, but they have been getting assets from China, which appear not to be very effective. Maybe just the lack of them, but like what I heard within the last 4 hours was that half of all the mobile ballistic launchers have been taken out. And if half of them have been taken out in one day, I would say 1/4 more could absolutely be taken out within a week. If half were taken out one day, you could expect, like, of the half that's left, half of those probably could be taken out within a week. And if that happens, and they cannot if they can't launch any more ballistic missiles, they're just done, because there's no army invading them, right? There's no ground forces invading them. Right now this is just an air-to-air combat.
Of the Kuwaiti, Omani, Qatari, Saudi Arabian, and UAE Air Force that will now be joining in the bombing campaigns.
But yeah, I agree.
Republic of Iran.
I do agree.
Tell you, man, the bots are going to be seething.
Ernest, that Iran is hoping China, Russia will bail them out. But what can China do now? Like, can China just send a huge amount of assets into Tehran and like no one would recognize it? We couldn't see, because if planes don't have their transponders on during a war, like, okay, are they fair game? Are they fair game to shoot down?
There's no longer the war of the wicked Israelis and those morally degenerate Americans. Now it's literally the entirety of the Islamic world, basically, versus Iran as well. Literally, it's the whole.
Yeah, my guess
at this point against.
My guess is the way that this war, well, we'll call it a war, and we can get whether it's a war or not, because there has been no official declaration of war, but with all the assets that's been flown in and been brought in by sea, that it's a war that's going to go. There's going to be a resolution. This is not like the Midnight Hamas strike from June of last year. But yeah, this is as much of a war as there is a war. But it's not officially a war until Congress declares war. But what happens when the president does not ask Congress to declare war?
And I mean, I find it funny that the bots are coming here. It's like, it's the wicked actions of Israel and America. Because it's like, hell, Iran's about to get turns taken on them by everyone else in the Middle East here in a minute. It's like and they're gonna, these Middle Eastern countries are gonna be asking for seconds. They're gonna be going around to get them again. Like, this isn't going to be going all too well for Iran. You know, right. Iran through this action, man.
And from what I've heard, and I actually think this intelligence brief was pretty accurate. They say over 40 of like the top Iranian personnel have been taken out. And even if it's not 40, if it's even like close to 40, even if it's 20, if you get 20 and not 40, even if it's not 40, you get 20 of the top personnel taken out, that really creates problems about who's in control, and how can you tell like someone that you know is in control, and how do you know they're actually dead, and like what do you do? How do you try to contact them? who's the next in line. Like all that creates confusion. And I totally believe this is what Iran's going through right now. Hey, Mach.
Possible scenario to an even more impossible scenario.
Yeah.
For themselves.
Goar Brothers says strategic strike, hoping the deck of cards will spur a revolution. Yes. Oh, that's actually what the U.S. wants to do. The U.S. wants to do this. They want to take out enough assets to spark a revolution because the U.S. Intelligence knows that enough of the population are very much against the regime that they would, if things go well enough, they would try to overthrow the government. This is not like, let me give you an example. North Korea. If you take out like the top leadership of North Korea would not try to overthrow the government because you have to look into the mindset of the North Koreans. They're so brainwashed. They would not do that. But Iranians, and you have to look at if you look at all the factions of Iranians, where they come from, what they believe in, it's totally different from North Korea. Yeah, so Goar Brother says Trump said now is the time for. I believe Trump he's premature on this because people without guns versus people with guns usually does not lead to a positive result for people without guns. I think he should not call for them to right now try to overthrow the government. I think you need to constantly degrade the ability of the regime, and you cannot do that in 24 hours, especially like a country as powerful as Iran. Even though we're kind of making Iran look silly, but Iran, they have a very robust IRGC as like a second layer defense. I would not ask the population to revolt just yet. I would continue to degrade the assets of Iran, make them tired, and then ask the population. Now, in my opinion, now is not a good time to ask the population to do that.
Yeah, I want to ask the people that aren't bots, but the people that are like legit people that actually support Iran or say that somehow Iran's getting wronged. How can they possibly explain the fact that Iran has attacked, like for example, the Gulf Cooperation Council? All those countries have been attacked. Every single one I just mentioned has been attacked by Iran. In fact, Oman was even the ones trying to advocate for Iran, like the enforcer mentioned earlier, to try to get some leverage in U.S. negotiations for Iran. How do the people that actually support Iran explain that? I mean, so if Iran doesn't get their way, they start killing people in their friend countries. I mean, how does that work? I mean, there's literally, it's a rhetorical question. There's no way to defend that. And that's why that blows the whole argument apart that Iran somehow just a misunderstood nation. Misunderstood nations, even troubled ones, don't start attacking their friends. Do you see Russia attacking North Korea because North Korea didn't provide enough support in the Ukraine war? No. And Russia's pretty bad. They're hurting civilians daily in Ukraine, and not even they're doing that to their allies. Iran's crazy. That's insane that they're even attacking their friends like that.
So someone said because they're emotional. Oh, emotional. Oh, man, their leader died. Oh, so, man, they need to cry.
One thing about this channel, and they do provide news at a very good, like very quick rate, and I do like them for that. But they themselves, they're two brothers. They can be a little bit. What's a good word? I'm trying to think of a good adjective to use that says just keep in mind maybe they're a little bit on the younger side and they're not totally like seasoned analysts. But yeah, I mean sometimes when you hear them do this stuff like wine, you got to take it for what it is. But they do very well. Like their channel is very successful. It's because I think it's because they put a lot of, they do put a lot of work in, and they do a good job with the technology side of getting getting like the latest and greatest of what's going on, plus clips and stuff, and they're good about what to show, what they can't show. So that part works very well for them.
About it like that. So because they're emotional, they get a right to attack everyone. So let's say that tomorrow the prime minister of the UK just drops dead. So does that mean that Britain gets to nuke everyone in Europe because they're emotional? Like, come on. I mean,
All
that's
right.
absolutely
So
stupid.
what he's talking about right here
you
is
gotta have
it
common
sounds
sense.
okay. So the parallel he's trying to draw, I would say, is somewhat unintelligible. But
And someone says,
maybe we'll fast forward past that.
Response right now on the highway. This is apparently a mass casualty situation. Perhaps this is a lot of response.
This is quite a significant one. It appears there's a large number of police and ambulances that are beginning to arrive near to the scene of one of the explosions, which may suggest a significant number of civilian casualties has just occurred.
Yeah, that's bad news right there.
Yeah. So what I've heard is the U.S. According to the latest statistics, I've heard that the U.S. has now lost three military personnel. They're not saying where the military personnel were based, because they could have been based anywhere from Bahrain that got hit to UAE that got hit to Iraq that got hit. My guess is actually it was on one of these U.S. bases. I don't think it was at sea. I don't think it was on an airplane. My guess is it would be like in a base, probably Iraq or Bahrain would be my guess. But they haven't released it yet because they have to notify the families first.
Actually, that's very bad. Hopefully the casualties aren't too bad. But we did see that confirmed impact in Jerusalem, so it's very possible that they could have some significant casualties right now. But that's a hell of a response right there. So
wait,
hoping
Gogus?
for the best.
Is Gogus
not
on?
really sure right now.
I hear Gogus.
Also, we are waiting on more information to come out right this second. We are not really seeing anything else right this second, so we're kind of in a bit of a lull. So, unfortunately, if you'd like to bring us through any of the other events that have happened that you might have left,
yeah, I don't see anything about
Gogus.
Gogus.
Time to do it.
Generally, getting us back into Tehran.
I do think Gogus is. Oh.
There, we were also able to see.
I do think Gogus is coming soon, but I don't think Gogus is staying in the Middle East. I think he's flying around.
Footage of the strikes within Tehran. This was published by the IDF, and we could see these direct impacts on the capital of the Islamic Republic of Iran, Tehran. And we believe that these were laser-guided bombs that were dropped directly overhead from Israeli aircraft flying over Tehran. And that's going to be really incensing to the radio box.
Hold on. Because what he just said was pretty funny. Like, look at this. He's saying, "I think these were bombed by."
We believe that these were laser-guided bombs that were
guided bombs by the IDF, right? And then you see this right here on the bottom right. He's like, "Oh yeah, this is released footage from." I guess if you translate this, it kind of looks like. It looks like Israel. I can't read Israeli, but it looks like Israeli. It's like, oh yeah. So of course, if you have a drone up here, looking at what you're bombing, yes, that makes sense.
Over Tehran. That's going to be really incensing the Iranian bots. Moving on from that, we also were able to see, moving us on up and into the area north of Tehran, our larger government statements out of Iran. We were able to see a large amount of Iranians in the streets. These are apparently ones who support the regime, just screaming Allahu Akbar over and over on an endless loop, standing outside in a large crowd in the middle of an ongoing aerial attack by the United States, as their air defense fires air defense guns, which can't reach anyone, anywhere, or any of the bombs. So I got to say, I think there's a lot of pro-Iranian regime people out there in Tehran who are trying to win a Darwin Award, because I got to say that while the U.S.
Darwin Award.
For Israel,
do you guys know what a Darwin Award is? I remember the Darwin Awards back as early as like 1995. Darwin Award is an award given to a person each year that just happens to make the dumbest decision ever. And it has to be a decision that leads to his own demise. I'll give you an example of a Darwin Award. So, one of the winners of a Darwin Award was this guy. Yeah. The Darwin Award, yeah. Yes, Darwin is smart, but the Darwin Award means that someone actually did something so dumb. And I'll give you an example. There was this guy that decided to he decided to bring his dog with him ice fishing. And the way the guy I guess decided to go ice fishing is he would blow a hole. He had to blow a hole like in ice with dynamite or something. So apparently he I don't know if he did this before, but he threw a stick of dynamite to a place he wanted to blow up so he could actually go ice fishing. And I'm trying to remember how the story goes. But he either forgot like the dog, he didn't have the dog in the car or something. So the dog was out. He threw the stick of lit dynamite somewhere. The dog saw it. The dog ran, collected the dynamite, and started running back towards the guy. And so the guy's like, oh crap. So he tried to go back in the car, but it was too late. The dog got it, went back to the car with him. The dynamite blew up. End of dog, end of guy, end of story. This is like how the Darwin Awards go.
Israel basically doesn't avoid collateral at all, which is something I think needs to be fixed. But with the U.S. trying to avoid collateral as much as we can, large groups like this in the hundreds, they're just literally standing around, probably next to a major target. I mean,
they recognize individuals who supposedly contribute by selecting themselves out of the genre, but yes, by their yes, exactly, by doing like the dumbest things. They actually I think they've had like winners each year of how they selectively take themselves out of the gene pool.
If this is the case,
but I do remember specifically. This is going back. This is going back to the 90s. I remember that specific one where the guy threw a stick of dynamite and didn't think that his dog would be interested in fetching it and bringing it back to them. The guy got scared, tried to get back in the car, but it was too late.
Air defense continues to fire. So, they're also, we can see a poster of their now dead leader, Khomeini, who's currently ventilating somewhere in some destroyed building. They haven't even announced that they're going to have a funeral for that guy yet, by the way. I just want to put that out there. We don't know if he,
I think there's going to be a lot of funerals in Iran soon. Because I hear... So the U.S. and Israel claim that there's like 40, somewhere between 40 and 45 of their top leaders. Pele! Oh, Pele, how you doing, brother? Yeah, Pele, I haven't seen you in like 2.5 weeks. Hey, good to hear from you again. I was getting worried about you. I was thinking of actually sending you a message. Well, I don't know how to contact you, but I do know how to send you a message through the stream. But hey, I'm glad you're alive, first of all. I'm not gonna say where you are, but I'm glad you're at least alive and doing well. Yeah, you just need to get through. Oh, but you say you're stuck here for another week due to this situation. Oh boy, that's kind of a. What is that kind of? It's good in some ways, bad in others. Because if I had gotten stuck once I went back after that great night, remember that night where we were hanging out? Well, I remember some things happened, but let's fast forward to when we were hanging out at that place where we were talking to the Belarusian. Remember there was a Belarusian there and a Russian there, and we were talking to them. And I had to go because that's actually the day I had to leave. And I was like, if I had to stay here for like another week just because like things went hot, And I'm like, I'd be okay with that. The one thing I wouldn't really want so much is to start traveling and to get stuck, especially like in the Middle East. I don't want to get stuck there. But yeah, Pele, man, good to hear from you again. I'm already looking at my next trip there, which I probably shouldn't do at this point because it's just gonna encourage me to go earlier than I should. But I had a lot of fun there this past time, so I'm kind of interested in going again and not even waiting a whole year, maybe like 10 months. I did find interesting enough. I was looking online of places to stay, Paley, and I did find a place that I did not know of that is within my price range. I don't want to say where it is or whatever, but it's kind of in the general area that we were staying at, and that's a possibility. I might try to stay there. And it's a place I could actually use credit card points for, so I don't have to pay real money. But yeah, so yeah, I'm kind of, well, I'm good. I'm glad you're alive and stuff. I'm glad you're alive, but yeah, I hope you get back. I hope you get back to normal life.
That when they say that they have pictures of his remains, we don't know if that means that there's just like little pieces or if there's a larger body, because we haven't heard the Iranian government announce that they're going to have a funeral or a burial for him, which they generally would have for significant figures.
Oh, of course. Of course they're going to have a funeral burial for Ayatollah Khomeini. Yes, they're absolutely going to have a burial. The fact that they even released that he is alive, he was alive and now he's dead. They're going to have a burial for him, and they're going to ask the U.S. to create and the U.S. and Israel will do that for them, to create a day where his funeral goes on. They are going to do that. They're going to ask the U.S. They're going to ask Israel to not bomb during that period of day. Absolutely. Oh, is that right? Oh, don't tell me you're at HSB. Oh, damn. Yes, I do know Mint. There's a reason, actually. If Gogas comes on, he would know Mint a lot better than I would know Mint. Or as they called Mint, Minty. Mm-hmm. Oh, so you're broadcasting from you're over in HSB. Damn. Let me know, Paley, if there's two Japanese guys that are having a lot of fun, because I actually had a lot of fun the day that I saw these two Japanese guys there having a lot of fun. We wound up talking a lot of fun stuff. But my guess is the closer you are to Thailand, wherever you're from, the shorter your vacation is. Even on the airport trip, the trip to the airport, the day I left, the trip around the airport was pretty cool. I shared a cab with 3 Indian guys. I don't know how they managed this, but someone offered to take me, but he had to find someone else that would match the fare. And he found 3 Indian guys that paid the same fare as me, but not like each of them paid the same fare as me. The 3 of them together somehow worked together to get him to take the trip, where the 3 of them paid the same fare as me. Mint also talked about Gogus and Leo. Yeah. She would know Gogus and Leo well more than me just because of the last trip. But yeah, she would certainly know those guys. Probably more than me. But I do like that place. It's I bet you I would even like it more, even though I'm going there like in the heart of winter when you don't need that much air conditioning. Because I'm such a wimp and a like a pussy for really hot weather that I would say if I went there any other time besides winter, I would probably go there even more. Yeah, it was good. I liked it there. I would say
Meanwhile, we
I was
also got a news report.
evaluating
Did get a news
because someone asked me what my favorite trip was. And I've been there in the past like 5 years. So I was there this year. I was there this year. I was there the year before, and then I was there right before COVID started. And then in Pattaya, like one other time. Yeah, one other time. So I was there like four times in the past 5 years. And I would say this trip was slightly better overall, slightly better than like all the other trips because part of it was you kind of learn what you when you go what you like. Uh, I don't know so much where if you learn where to stay, but you kind of learn where not to stay. And yeah, this trip I was actually staying in a really good place, which made it really nice. And you certainly know Pele this, but there is better. Even though what I really liked, I think I could actually do even better in future trips. So I had that plus I was able to meet up with people like just random encounters, not even people I knew, just people I just met for the first time and hung out with them. And it was a really good trip. I did like it a lot, and I want to go back. Of course, I want to go back. Everyone wants to go back. Oh, so Paley? Did you see any pictures? Any pictures from Mint or Nanny at the bar of what they had on me or Gogus or Leo? Like as much as me, Gogus, and Leo hung out, I think I think the whole time that I was there last year, not this past year, but the year before, I think I only hung out with Gogus and Leo together either 3 or 4 times the whole trip. Like it wasn't like we were hanging out the whole night. I think of all the days or nights that we were there, I think we hung out like 3 or 4 times. And then there was one time I was just hanging out with Leo because Gogus was kind of doing something. So like we didn't actually hang out all that much time. People might think that we hung out every single night. No, my guess is we only hung out 3 or 4 nights the whole trip. Jenga says you look like Vince McMahon when wrestling. You know what's funny? You know what's funny, Jenga? That I saw the latest of like the cops pulled Vince McMahon over because he was going in his Bugatti. Was it a Bugatti? He was going over 100 miles an hour, and the excuse that Vince McMahon gave was classic. It's classic, like someone that was, if someone that just had to come up with an excuse really fast. Let me see if I can find that clip. I'm gonna search for that because it was good. Let's see. Associated Press. Would they copyright it? Let's do this one instead. This is let's see if I got this up here. It's really good. Oh, that can't be. That's not a Bugatti. That's a BMW. All right. Let's see what this is.
Highway, and within seconds, several cars are caught.
That's
in
not a
chaos.
Bugatti. That's a BMW.
Yeah, you're gonna need to get towed.
But the real twist came when
Oh,
officers revealed who was behind the wheel.
There we go.
Stay in the car.
Stay in the car.
Do you need an ambulance?
This is Vince McMahon. I do like Vince McMahon. To tell you the truth, like as far as an entertainer, I've known him since the 80s.
No, I don't. All right. Why were you driving over 100 miles an hour?
This is Inside the Crime presented by Law and Crime Lab.
The first question they ask him is, "Why are you driving over 100 miles an hour?"
Elizabeth Miller.
Like I'm not totally happy with everything Vince McMahon's done. I think the fact that he never in the early days gave wrestlers like health insurance, and he absolutely could have done that because a lot of their careers were shortened because of injury, and they're like actors on steroids. Both I say steroids like literally and figuratively, but they really did a lot for the sport and to raise his company's value. He should have gotten health insurance right from the start for like all of his wrestlers.
You know, we're able to bring you this story because of our incredible partner, Morgan & Morgan. There's a reason
I don't
Crime
know
is one of the
Morgan.
top true crime shows. Not all law firms
All right,
are QR
jump
code
ahead.
on your
Bah,
screen,
bah, 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 bah.
on the wrist. It's July 24th.
All right.
All right. What happened?
Guy hit me from behind, and he saw it off because he was.
So this is the driver of the BMW that got hit from behind because Vince McMahon was just going crazy.
Oh,
Well, yeah. I was trying to catch up and blew my doors off.
and left.
No, he's up there.
Oh, okay.
He can't go. So there's a hook. Yeah, you can't go.
All right.
This
You-
is
you
great,
from
though.
behind, and then you hit the guardrail.
No, he hit the guardrail.
He hit the guardrail. All right.
This is like this video is gonna be like, I got $19 for a lap dance.
Okay.
Tried to get over.
Did what's on the other side?
Down the highway.
All
The
right,
car
then
inches
there-
closer towards a BMW traveling in the right lane.
Look at this. Boom. So
To swerve around the car.
well, he tries swerving, he
The
hits
Bentley
the
That rear
that's gotta be the BMW. that he
turned
hit.
into BMW before
Yeah.
crashing
So that's a BMW crashing.
into a wooden
This is-
guardrail.
this
And
is
guess
Vince
who was the
McMahon's
famous
car up
face
here.
behind the wheel of that Bentley, which, by the way, is estimated to cost $300,000.
Ooh, $300,000. Yes. And then he looks this is what I think is great.
Just stay in the car. Do you
Just stay in the car.
need an ambulance?
Do you need an ambulance? He says.
I don't. All right. Why were you driving over 100 miles an hour?
I got granddaughter's birthday.
Why were you driving over 100 miles an hour? And Vince McMahon says, I was trying to get to my granddaughter's birthday.
I got to get this the next
All right. Did you see me trying to catch up to you behind
And then he says, then the cop says, did you see me trying to catch up to you?
you?
I didn't see that.
Wait, did he say he did see that or did not see that? I have to go back and play it again.
I got to get this the next
All right. Did you see me trying to catch up to you behind you?
I didn't see that.
Okay. So Vince McMahon is saying he didn't see that. Well, okay.
I saw lights, but it didn't look normal.
Oh, so I didn't see that. And then he says, I saw lights, but it looked normal.
Yeah, I'm trying to catch up to you and you keep taking off.
Oh, no, I'm not just. I'm trying to outrun you.
I know.
All right. So the cop says, I'm trying to catch up to you, but you keep taking off. And then Vince McMahon says, I'm not trying to wait, what did he say? I'm not trying to outrun you.
You keep taking off.
Oh, no, I'm not just. I'm trying to outrun you.
Okay. So he says, I'm not trying to outrun you. Okay. Okay, we could take that as a lie or not a lie.
No, I know, I understand that, but that's why I was very confused. Right? Because it wasn't like you were running; it was just like you almost hit, I think, 115 miles an hour.
Yes, because people normally travel 115 miles an hour.
All right, and then you just hit someone because you weren't paying attention. Were you looking at your phone?
Ooh, that's a good thing because the cop is trying to catch him now on something called distracted driving. So the cop is actually asking him a question to try to trap Vince McMahon.
No, trying to drive. No, no, look at my
The person was right.
Okay, so Vince McMahon says no, and this isn't the first time I've seen this video, but this is the first time I'm trying to analyze it. I saw this like I think like 3 or 4 days ago.
right in front of you. There's got to be a reason you hit him.
No, I haven't been driving my car in God knows how long.
What did he just say? Oh, I have to play this back.
There's got to be a reason you hit him.
No, I haven't been driving my car in God.
I haven't been driving my own car. I don't even know if that's what it said.
Right. It was right in front of you. You went straight at it at 100 miles an hour. I'm just making sure you're not having a medical condition or anything.
I don't
Do you
think
need an ambulance?
No.
The one thing about this Bentley is you kind of sometimes tell how old cars are. Look at this area from here. This is where they have like it's required to have the stickers here, and then it goes up. This area right here is very, very new. So I don't think like he generally drives this car a lot. Just looking at how clean this part is.
All right. Just your registration. And your license.
Oh, his airbag actually went off. Okay.
License in here?
No, it's in my pocket.
All right.
I haven't driven this car in quite some time.
He hasn't driven this car quite some time, which could be true. Like there's actually no reason for Vince McMahon to lie about whether he's driven this car in quite some time. He's a very rich man. He probably has 5 to 10 cars he could drive.
Fast, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, too fast.
Now he's blaming the car. Vince McMahon is blaming the car. The cop says, yeah, the car is real fast. And then Vince McMahon says, yeah, too fast. Too beep fast. I mean, why is he taking all this stuff of his wallet?
Thank you.
So at this point, the cop should say, don't try to drive further. Or the cop should actually take his keys so he cannot drive further. I don't know if he did that.
Now, this is normally the part where I tell you the official name of the driver, but I think many of us already know who he is. Former head honcho of WWE, Vince McMahon. Back in 2022, he stepped down as CEO of the organization due to a company investigation into sexual misconduct allegations. He denied the allegations against him. Police say during this July 2025 incident, he was wearing his seatbelt, but his airbag still deployed. The driver of the BMW didn't.
Okay. So what should you say? He was wearing his seatbelt, but the airbag, I have to replay that. But the airbag still deployed? Is that what she said?
2025 incident, he was wearing his seatbelt, but his airbag still deployed.
Okay. So the airbag's deploying, I don't think has anything to do with your seatbelt. There's sensors in car, especially in the front. If you hit something in the front, it sends a message to deploy the airbags. Hey, Bailey. So, you talked to Nick. Yeah, I just saw this video. Well, actually, I didn't see the whole video. I just saw the very beginning of his video today because it's a Sunday, so he does a Sunday thing at 5 p.m. Yeah, 5 p.m. Thailand time, 5 a.m. my time. So I'm glad. Yeah. Like he hasn't seen Steph since the incident back This has got to be 2019. So you're talking like maybe 7 years now. But it's good you remember, Steph. I met Nick, but not through Steph. I was hanging out with someone else who knew Nick.
The driver of the BMW didn't report any injuries, but there was visible damage to her car from the wreck.
I know, I saw it. I saw it.
Yeah, all that damage is it's covered. They don't have the BMW owner doesn't have to.
Who's this white car?
He was a helpful bystander.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Hold on. Which comment? Which comment? Go hard. Hold on. Go hard. I don't know which comment you're talking about. So let me hold on. I could use something a little bit better. Let me just I'll put you in timeout, Go Hard, for the minimum amount of time. I'll put you out for 10 seconds, which should get rid of all your comments. Let me see if that works. Okay. So I only put you on timeout for 10 seconds because I don't know what comment you're talking about. So in order to get it done real fast, I just put you in comment put another post up saying thank you or something. Because I didn't know which comment you're talking about on StreamYards. I have no idea what you mean by StreamYards. I took out all your stuff on. I took out all your stuff on YouTube. That's the only platform I'm broadcasting from. So I'm not sure, Go Hard Brother, what you mean. Hello, welcome.
Hey, what's up?
Good. Hey, how you doing?
You posted his comment to be on screen on YouTube. That's what he needs.
On.
You
Is it
got
still there?
Yep, it's still there. Like a highlighted comment. I don't know how it works in the stream.
Yeah, something happened. Sorry about that, Go Hard. Like, I don't know how that. Like, I didn't intentionally do that. Okay. Let me hide. Oh, I see what happened. Okay.
There you go.
There you go. Thank you for that.
No worries.
Yeah, apparently when let's see what happened. Oh, I see what happened. So it was hidden. It says hidden, and then when it said show, I thought it was to show on the YouTube chat, but apparently that was a show for the other thing, the StreamYards. So sorry about that. All good, and thank you for the clarification. But yeah, how you dealing with this new invasion, which probably doesn't affect you so much? No, you didn't get time. So Go Hard Brother. You got. I only timed you up for 10 seconds, which only removes your comments because I thought you were talking about some comment you made. I didn't think it was from the stream.
Yeah, it's sorted now.
Yeah,
I can see him in the chat.
Yeah, I can see.
Everything's all good.
Yeah, all good. I do remember him from years and years ago, but it wasn't on my chat. I remember him from other chats.
Well, back to your question. It affects the whole world, man. Shit. I mean,
Yes, I know, Go Hard Brother. You don't time out people for nothing. I actually thought you were asking me to time something out that you had, and I couldn't find exactly what you're saying. So I knew that just timing out for 10 seconds would solve the problem that I thought the problem was. It had nothing to do with what the problem was, but it was because I thought I couldn't find what you were saying to whatever comment to delete. So don't get too upset about that. It had nothing to do with what I accidentally posted on the chat that I can't actually see. The whatever the StreamYard thing is. I don't have a live view of that. I have a view from when I started the stream. I don't have a live view. But so don't get so upset about that, Go Hard. Okay. So what's new? How you doing? And are you safe? I did hear that one YouTuber is actually now caught in Doha. The way I was kind of concerned about getting caught.
Yeah, I honestly didn't think something like this would have happened, but okay.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I was,
I personally thought what would have happened was that basically what the U.S. did way back when they put the Shah of Iran in power or back into power. They just, try to sponsor or create a revolution from within using the CIA and everything or whatever. But apparently not. So
well, that was putting the Shah of Iran in that was a long time ago. That had to be
well,
around
look at
1970-ish.
yeah. Well, didn't it go like back and forth? Wasn't like whoever the last Shah wasn't his father in, and then they were exiled, and then the CIA got involved, and then put him on the throne again. Yeah. So whatever, but yeah, look into it. I mean, it
Yeah,
was
I
basically done politically. Well, politically, like covertly politically. That's what I thought was going to happen now. Because when you saw the protests, and then apparently the protesters were apparently, I mean, they took care of the protesters how sometimes dictatorships do. They have to disperse them, they think, and they have to then people die. It's not right. I think the last fall of one of the ones that I remember that sticks out of my head is, the fall of East Germany. That fell without one shot. So,
yeah
um,
yeah well
but 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 there were times also, where the tanks at Checkpoint Charlie were facing each other, the Russians and the Americans.
Checkpoint
But
Charlie. Yes,
yeah,
Berlin.
so anyway, I didn't think it would come to this. I'm kind of shocked, and I'm a little bit worried of how long it's going to take. Not really worried about nuclear stuff. I mean, I think the world should know that that's not an option anybody can take. It's, I, I don't know.
Yeah. It's a very interesting situation because one thing, if you were to compare this to what's going on in Venezuela, it's basically not comparable. Like even though the U.S. attacked Venezuela, extracted the leader, and then made a deal with the rest of the regime. The regime in Venezuela is nothing like the regime in Iran. Iran has totally different structure. They have people that are very, very religious, willing to die for their cause. Where in Venezuela, you don't really see that. And they have a whole plus their military is like 10 times bigger than Venezuela. They do have ways to kind of do checks and balances, and they have a whole order of succession. Although it's very possible that after it was announced that the Ayatollah Khomeini had passed away, that the next in line actually passed away too, due to the strikes. It's very possible that happened. We
Is
will,
that
yeah.
is that 100% confirmed? Because I saw a report today that apparently someone's still alive. Apparently, I don't know.
Well, there is a whole order and line of succession. The fact that Iran has not come out to say that, hey, I am now in charge. Like the fact that it's gone so long makes me think that the next in line actually has not survived the attacks as well. And I believe they've struck down like 40 of the top people in charge.
Mm-hmm.
And if there's anyone that could do it to gather the intelligence, it's probably the Mossad. I'm sure they have hundreds of, maybe even more than hundreds of agents inside Iran, because Iran would have been Israel's biggest threat over the past 10, 20 years, because Israel's the one that's been funding Hezbollah, funding Hamas, probably funding like the PLO back in the day. I wouldn't be surprised if so. Like that would be the biggest threat to Israel and where they would want to concentrate their assets. But yeah, oh boy, what do we got here? We got a war going on. Yeah, although if you want to say it's a war, I don't know. The war might actually be kind of close to over now, because I did hear that half of the ballistic missiles. Hold on, Mach. Just give me a second. Don't give up, Mach. I just want to say this first. Half of the ballistic missile capabilities to launch the ballistic missiles has been taken out within a day. So if half of them have been taken out within a day, I think that's a pretty good sign that they're going to be eventually taken out. Hello, Mach. Oh, hold on. Ding, ding. Hello, welcome.
Thank you. Yeah. Appreciate that.
Yes, no problem.
Office 711.
Yeah, this is pretty big news that's going on.
Yeah. I love your opinion on this.
Yeah, well, I'm no expert military analyst. I'm just a hack that just kind of listens and repeats. If I hear something like I hear people I respect say, I would repeat it. Like, unfortunately, like there's a hotel right next to in the UAE, a real famous hotel that got hit, which is a shame. Is like totally a civilian site. There's no way there'll be like military assets there, and it is a shame that it got hit. And unfortunately, I think people died there.
Was it hit by a shoot out of the sky drone or like debris or?
No, I don't think it was debris. Based on how big the hotel is, it probably was a ballistic missile that got through. It might have been a drone, but I think it was a ballistic missile. It was right near one of those. Do you know what it was, Chris?
Excuse me. I just seen. I mean, I haven't really. I've watched like the initial things. The big problem with me is when you see something like on a short or whatever, you're like, is that AI or is that real? Is that AI or is that real? What I did see, but I saw it from 2 or 3 angles. I saw one of those propeller drone things that looked like a Delta Wing crash into an apartment complex.
Yeah, that's a Shahed, the Shahed drone.
Well, whatever. And it crashed into an apartment complex in Doha, I think it was. Or I don't remember where it was, but that was real, and that was scary. Like
yeah,
that.
I did see
you
it.
Think the school was real?
It crashed into one of them crashed into Bahrain. That was absolutely a Shahed.
Yeah, Bahrain. That was it. That was it. Bahrain.
I think it crashed into a military complex there, because the object that it crashed into was a round dome, which is it's a military. What do you call it? Like it's a sensor. It wasn't. Yeah, it was. It was like it cost like somewhere between 100 and 300 million dollars. It looks like the Epcot Center.
It's like an antenna. Like it's either a receiver or a transmitter.
It's a small world.
It was. Yeah, I think it was a receiver. Maybe it was both. It was a very expensive asset. It was like a white ball that it crashed into.
Yeah.
Very expensive. And
I saw that as well, but I saw one crash into an apartment building.
Yes. Oh yeah. Oh yes, that was in. I think that was one of them in Dubai. That was not Qatar. Qatar. The picture we got from Qatar was it. There was something that actually dropped from the sky. People were filming it on the street, and it kind of landed on the street. That was the picture from Qatar. Also, the airport in UAE, one of the airports actually got hit a little bit too. The
Abu
airport in
Dhabi,
Doha did
man.
not get hit, but yeah, I think the airport,
Dubai and Abu Dhabi, yeah.
yeah, one of the airports in UAE got hit.
I think too, but
Yeah, I also think too. But there's a picture of Dubai Airport. You can tell because of the architecture of the terminals of
Yeah.
like the outside with a big hole in it, and then they showed the inside like full of like dust and debris
Hmm.
with the open roof, wherever whatever fell in there.
do you think this is gonna take 1 week? Like this is what I hear on the news. Like Iran got like 1 week and America got like 1 week.
So, it is the situation is very fluid, and very fluid, Mok. So there's a lot of things at play. There is what is on the list of between U.S. and Israeli assets that they already have targeted and are going to destroy. That's going to continue. It's not going to continue as big of a pace that it has. The first 24 hours is just like everything they know, especially things that are immobile, they just take out. So you have that.
Yeah, the leader was gone. Blessed for that.
Yeah, you got that aspect of You have what's like the live situation of what is being targeted, and we know that according to U.S. that they've eliminated half of the ballistic missile. They have these mobile launchers for ballistic missiles, and they actually have a good supply of ballistic missiles, but they don't have a big supply of the actual vehicles that can launch them.
Do you think the regime is going to change? I hope so. I really do.
I hope so too. Do I think the regime will change? It will be one of the harder regimes to change because they do have like a who is in charge and like a whole structure. It is difficult to say because and who is in charge of that? It's not like it's like 50, 100 people. There's thousands. There's thousands of people that are part of, well, I might even say tens of thousands. Right? Like the IRGC, which is it's like it's a little bit separate from the military. They could like they're involved in what's going on. What is how two very interesting things. Like, why was Ayatollah Khomeini not protected in a shelter? He's basically just at his house when this whole thing happened. Even the fastest of missiles, like it would give him enough time just to go underground. So that was very interesting. The other interesting thing was Parliament. Iran asked Parliament to lock down, and this is like all their political leaders. They were ordered to lock down within Parliament, and then Parliament was bombed. Very, very interesting. So, to your question, what do I think is going to happen? My guess is Iran has enough of a structure to be able to kind of continue this, where unlike the Maduro regime, where you just remove the leader and then everyone else just says, okay, we'll negotiate, because their lives aren't going to be changed. It's just Maduro. They're like, okay, you need oil.
It's a good message, yeah.
But this, for different reasons, this regime in Iran is going to be totally different from what happened in Venezuela.
Yeah, what do you think is
I
going
don't
to
hear a lot of.
Sorry, Mac, go ahead.
No, you go ahead, Chris. Sorry, me. I talk too much.
No, you don't. Anyway, I was just wondering what you think is going to happen. How are they going to try to keep the Straits of Hormuz open?
Well, what's going to happen is Iran's going to try to close it either through military force or by setting mines in the Strait of Hormuz. But the U.S. would be very well aware this is going to happen. So, and this is probably the number one thing, even more important than toppling the regime right now in Iran. Keep the strait open, because if Iran is able to close the straits and totally mine it for some reason, like that could have a huge impact, because it's 20% of the world's oil comes through that strait, and 20% of the oil would not be able to go through, would not create a 20% increase of prices. It would create a 200 to 300% increase in prices.
That's what I hear. It's close already.
A huge thing. Now, it would impact countries that could produce their own oil. So I don't think, like, it would not impact the U.S. as much as other countries, because the U.S. is like a net exporter. But it would absolutely, that much oil would absolutely create.
That's a good question, though. I hear Putin say, like, hey, we can make oil and gas, and please. Anyway, I hope it's gone in 1 week. Maximum 1 month. Else I have to go to Egypt, and I don't know how to fly, but I will get there.
Yeah, I don't think. Well, I hope not. I hope Egypt isn't going to be affected. But yeah, it could be.
Thanks. Yeah, me too. It's 80 out there. Abu Dhabi. God damn it. I'm doomed. But I got insured. Cheers, Chris.
Oh.
I think she just watched his microwave, or I don't know.
Yeah, the microwave he calls a computer. He put it on like he put it on 20 minutes, and it went ping, and it kicked him off. No, I just look, when the thing happened with Russia and Ukraine, I thought that was going to be over relatively quickly, but it's not. So nobody knows, really. To be fair,
That's an endurance game. Yeah, difficult.
And that's.
I think.
I mean, that's closer to you, right? Like in distance, right?
Oh man, it's far away.
But you're in what? The Netherlands, right? Netherlands.
Yeah. England is closer, or Denmark.
Right. I mean,
hey, ding dong. Welcome back.
Damn it! I was actually giving. I think I was giving the speech of the night of what I evaluated something to be, and I'm like, why is my cursor not moving? Oh, not again.
We teased you about that. We teased you.
Shit.
To answer your question, Chris, Europe is going to be infected. Oil and gas. We need that.
Yep.
Yes. Did I get to the point where I said, even though it's like 20% of the world's oil, but it will not raise your prices only 20%. It'll raise it so much more than that.
I just wanted to mention Sean the Prawn. Yes, we can read your comments in the chat. I can see them.
Sean the Prawn said, hold on.
Miss Bubble need to take care of that. So, yeah, thanks for that.
I am getting back. Oh, good. I have the link. I do have the link there. Sean the Prawn. Yeah, that was that hotel in Dubai, right next to the big flower leaf that you saw. Yeah, that's like a really big fancy hotel.
Yep. The Burj Al Arab. That's what it's called. The world's only 6-star hotel, apparently.
Yeah. It's only a 6-star hotel. Damn it.
I've been inside. It's impressive. But it's a big to-do. Like, the guy that I met in the UAE, well, at least in Dubai, My customer, he has whatever, like a parking permit, so he can cross the bridge and park like on that whatever
Oh,
artificial island that they built for that hotel,
yeah.
right? So he's like, "Oh, you want to go there? You want to go have go have a drink there or whatever?" I was like, "Yeah, sure, why not?" So yeah,
Oh, you've been there. Oh, it's so cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no,
Damn, the
look,
Puma.
I couldn't afford to stay there. I just I
Mhm.
think we had like a soda, and he showed me around a little bit, and then we went up to like whatever floor and how to look. Yeah, and that was it. I mean, it is impressive. Like you go through these escalators, and there's like the largest aquariums I've ever seen, like private aquariums, other than like at like an actual aquarium, where they have all kind of fish and dolphins and sharks and all that. But they had like it was amazing. It's at least 2 stories high, or 1.5 stories high. When you're going up the escalator, you go like up through, not through, but next to this huge aquarium. It's amazing.
Yeah.
And then in the
Oh, that
and
sounds
then
awesome.
in the lobby or the atrium, when you come up, like they have like you have those Arabic arches, right? So you see all the floors, and there's like the arches going all around, and the way they painted it and painted the ceilings, it's like not a kaleidoscope, but like the shade of color. It's like it looks really cool. It's like a really nice optical effect. It goes like from one shade to the next to the next, but floor by floor. Like it's all the way to the top. It's awesome. But yeah, I mean, it wasn't like I don't know if I could even afford to stay there if I wanted to stay there, but whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I could, but I would have to ask him how much for just 1 hour.
Like that.
I check
Was
my
that
bags
skit?
in,
Like,
and I have to leave an hour later.
isn't that the skit with Chris Rock? Like, how much
Yes,
for a
for
soda?
just how much for just
How
one
much for a
rib?
sip?
Remember that?
Yeah, how much for a
How much
rib?
for just one
Exactly.
rib?
How much for a sip of soda instead of the soda? How much for a swallow? Yeah, that just like that. Yeah. Wasn't it Chris Rock? Wasn't that one of Chris Rock's
Is
skits
either
long
Chris
time ago?
Rock or maybe Eddie Murphy? I
Yeah.
think it was like I think it was in like the mid to late 80s. Yeah, I do like those.
But yeah.
Hey, Sean Prawn. Hey, you got the link, Sean the Prawn. You can come on. I can show
And the
you.
other thing, and the other thing you mentioned, when you said the flower, it's actually a palm. It's called the Palm Jumeirah. It's like they
Yeah.
have at the end they have the Atlantis Hotel, or like in the middle of the palm, sort of, and then branching out on the palm, whatever, the palm branches or the palm leaves. Those are like neighborhoods and stuff and houses and shit.
You
That's
you just created something where someone's going to say, "Oh, I'm going to create a new name called Sean the Palm."
Sean the Palm.
Yeah, Sean the Palm. Expect the Sean the Palm to come up within the next couple of days. Yes, it is a very pretty thing, and you can see it. You can actually see it too if you're flying with an airline that has like the overlay of you can kind of see what's overhead. You can see that. Yeah, you can see that area too, just from your console.
Oh, you mean okay, but even if you like take off from the airport or whatever, depending which way you go out, and you can also see that it's like shit to the palm as well.
I can see it. Yeah, I can see it from going into Doha. You could actually whatever airline it is, whether it's coming from Bangkok, which is the Airbus, or coming into Doha, which is the Boeing. I could see it both ways.
I remember when I used to fly out of Abu Dhabi, depending which runway you took and how you took off, because it's really close to that Yas Marina where the Formula One is, and they have like a Ferrari world. And we took off, and I'm looking at the window, I see this big like Ferrari symbol. I was like, oh, okay, that's Ferrari World. I never went there or to the racetrack.
Yeah, like 2 years ago, there was bombing going on, and there was that circuit, right?
The worst bombing. Worst bombing where? in
But yes,
Yeah,
Marina.
near Abu Dhabi. Yeah.
I don't remember, but yeah, okay, if there was, fine.
So did I talk to you after I took like the first Chris? Chris. Did I talk to you about the first, like after I took the one flight back, about that one seat on that airline, which had an open seat? Did I talk to you
Right.
since then? I don't remember if I have ever got
I
you.
just remember I didn't come onto the panel. I just heard
Okay.
you when you
Yeah.
had your dilemma of even trying to get to the airport with a bus and stuff. But anyway, because of Chinese New Year. But
Yeah,
yeah,
there was a seat, a very interesting seat where I could go onto it was Qatar. I could go onto the Qatar website and I could choose like my seat, and most of the seats that you would want to sit are like an upgrade. You know,
Correct.
whether it's the upper deck. This is the Airbus. So it was the Airbus that had, I think it was the Airbus A380. So they had a bunch of
Wow.
seating on the upper deck, but on the lower deck, where I already had kind of I had a seat, and they had upgrade options available. But one thing that wasn't an upgrade was I think it was seat 70 in the middle of the plane, because the way the plane was structured on the bottom deck was you have your 3 seats on either end. So you have 3 seats on the left, 3 seats on the right. And it was like window, middle, aisle, all the way in the left, window, middle, aisle, all the way in the right. Now in the middle section, they had 4 seats, right? So it was 4 seats. So it would be like aisle, middle, aisle. And I found this one seat when I was looking at the like the map of the plane. One seat that was the one aisle seat was actually removed. So I guess it was removed so the person, maybe it was wheelchair access or something. So behind it was like had a clear, like it was no seat in front of it.
Yep.
And like that seat was a premium seat, but the
Oh
seat,
man, you can
the
sleep
seat that
in
was
there.
actually removed to the right of it.
Legs
Normally a middle
straight and
seat. It was normally a middle seat. I said, "Oh, I could get that seat." So to me, that was an aisle seat, because the seat that would be to my left was removed, so the person behind them could
Correct.
stretch their legs. But yeah, so that was, to me, that was not only an aisle seat, but it was a better aisle seat, because when the carts come up and down, the aisle
Oh, I
seat,
looks
get
like
you.
big place.
I could
God
just
damn
stretch
it.
my legs out. So I booked that
Relaxed.
seat.
Yeah.
It was like the best seat. It was the best seat on the whole plane. I did that, and
So
it was
what
like,
seat?
Taizee, the last time I flew Qatar, I was in the seat that you were in front of, like standing alone on the aisle. I know which one you mean.
So it was it was kind of in the back of the plane. I think it was like row 7. So you were in that.
Well, whatever it was, I think there's 2 of them. There's 2 like that on board. There's one in the forward cabin, one in the back cabin. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, but I was in one of those. And okay, yeah, you're right. Like you got to be careful of the trolley. But yeah, like
So okay, so
being
you
in
were
that seat.
so you were in the seat that had the seat missing in front of you.
Correct.
Okay, I was in the seat that actually had the seat to my left missing.
Yep, which is good too.
And it was good. Like I could stretch both feet out, and I could stand without.
My biggest issue is when people like lean back the whole flight. The people I hate most, and I don't really care if you lean back, all that stuff. That's fine, but I hate it when like food is served or drinks are served and you don't put your seat back up. But I always ask the people. It's like, I'm sorry, we're gonna eat now. I don't have enough space. After the food, you're more than welcome to lean back, but for food, would you be kind enough to put your seat forward and tell the person in front of you to do the same, and then we all can have enough space to eat. And that's it.
Yes, I know.
I'm not scared to talk to people.
The Boeing planes go back really far.
I'm not
And
sure.
that was for me that was a big deal. And I'm like 5'10", so I'm average height. But I just see when I ate, like people would have their seats back, and it certainly would affect me.
You know, I'm 6'3" and a
Mhm.
bit, 6'3.5". Yeah, it's not comfortable.
I'm a small person like a dwarf.
You're not a small person. I've seen you on live streams. But yeah, I mean,
Yeah, 380, man. That's a
I wanted
beautiful
to.
plane. It's Emirates or something.
Yeah. The A380s. I love them. I love the Airbuses much more than the Boeing, especially the Boeing Dreamliner. There's like no space in the Boeing Dreamliner.
I don't know. The Boeing got like a seat downstairs above the pilot in front of the cockpit.
I do not know.
Yeah,
This.
the Boeing, that's a jumbo jet where you can sit like under the pilot if you sit all the way in the front here.
Yeah, in front of it. So you,
But I'm not the biggest fan of the A380. I just think that many people should belong like in one tin can at one time. But
I'm
that's
going
just
to
me.
fly Etihad to Abu Dhabi next month.
Yeah.
You think I'm going to make it?
No, I think Etihad is very well known for their good flights, just like Qatar. Etihad, Qatar.
I think Mark's more worried about what's going on than getting on the plane.
I want to go there, man.
No,
Come
you're
on, Egypt or
so you go
New Delhi or
Mark, you do go two times a
sorry.
year. What's the other month you go?
August, end of July.
Oh, August. Yeah.
So I'm going in March. April, sorry, I'm going April, some Gran in the whole deal, and I'm going in the summertime too. But then with Swiss Air, you know, just Zurich, and then probably better.
Yeah, it's a shame. Like I had such a good time this past time. Now I'm thinking of going like in November instead of January, or maybe both. Although I shouldn't even say that.
I just want to live there, man. I have no options.
Yeah, you want to live there. I get that. A lot of people want to live there. You do have to wait a bit for your 50th birthday so you can get a retirement.
No, I'm always 20. I'm gonna make it. No, yeah, it's a family affair.
Yes. Yeah, you got the family going.
I would recommend.
Anyway, Chris,
Yes,
this
sir.
story you told me about the Palm Island, you know, Dubai, and damn.
Yeah, well, I'm not a big fan of Dubai, to be fair, but I had to work and have meetings and stuff, and I think I stayed there once. Did like a couple exhibition, like what do you call it, like the trade fairs, like at the exposition halls. I've done that. I was always like 2 weeks at a time. Then I had to work in a workshop for like 2.5 weeks.
Good place to work, man.
Then yeah, I work, and I used it as a base. The company that I work for, they had like their own subsidiary in Dubai, and I went and I visited other clients like in Kuwait, in Oman, in Saudi, in Qatar, in Bahrain. Yeah, it was okay, but Dubai is just like, I think if you go there for like 2 weeks or even a week, you've seen everything that it's known for, and then that's it. The most fun I've ever had in Dubai was when one of my clients, he's like, "Oh, what are you doing on the weekend? What are you doing on Friday?" Like, well, it's prayer day and nothing. Like, I don't have to work. He's like, okay, after prayer, I will call you. And if you are awake, we will go to the desert. And I'm like, okay. So he picked me up in his 4x4. And he has well, there's also Farangs out there. There was also people from other Arabic countries out there, also other people, other Emiratis out there. And it's like a group of 6 or 7 4x4 guys. They all meet up on, the weekend, and then they go drive to certain places in the desert. That's the most fun I've ever had there. That was amazing. No, I mean that was amazing. And I remember
I expected belly dances or
oh
some
no,
some
wow.
hotel
Oh
or
no.
lost in
But then
confusion.
I did it 3 times with the guy. It was awesome. The first time I remember he went and drove on this dune, and then he's like, "Oh, get out, and it's a great view, and then you can see Dubai." And I got out. It was so hot. It was so hot, and then all of a sudden there was a breeze, right? But the breeze, if you ever use a blow dryer to dry your hair, right, or like a heat
Okay,
gun or
yeah,
something,
yeah.
yeah, that's what it felt like when the breeze came.
Oh, damn.
And then because the sand, it's not like a beach, it's so fine. It's almost it's not dust, but it's almost like dust. And it would get whipped up. And I had on shorts, and then I felt the hot air, and it felt like little needles pricking me. But that was the little grains of sand whipped up by the wind, like little needles.
Sounds like a
And
good time, man.
I was like, what the hell is this? So we got back in the car, and then did some more off roading, and that was spectacular. And he let me drive too, where it wasn't so technical and so difficult. And he tried to teach me how to read the sand. And he's like, "Do you think there's a big drop off over this crest? Yes or no?" And showed me how you can tell. I mean, I've forgotten it all. It's been at least 10 years ago, but I had a lot of fun. But I'm like a petrol head. I love anything to do with cars and anything to do with engines. And I'd never done it. And yeah, I thought it was cool.
Awesome. Yeah.
But the other stuff you have in Dubai, yeah, you can go see all the malls, see the Burj Khalifa, which is the tallest building. Yeah, you go there and you look at it, and you're like, okay, that's it. Okay, I've seen it. All right, next.
I hope to see that one. Yeah.
Yeah, but or like I said, I've been to the Burj Al Arab, the hotel. Yeah, it's cool. All right, whatever. I'm not saying that I don't appreciate it, but once you've seen everything else, it's all it's like big, like you said, Epcot, Disneyland. Somebody mentioned Disneyland, whatever. Yeah, that's what it's like.
It's a small world after all.
Yeah, you see everything, and then you're like, oh, okay. I mean, in terms of cars and stuff like that, for me, I love cars and petrolhead and stuff. You see cars there, you're like, holy shit! You don't see them maybe in a
taxis
lifetime.
like Ferraris or Lambos or
the police have, but they do it for publicity. Yeah, they have Lambos and all kind of other stuff. But no, you see all those cars everywhere. They're not worth anything. Where I'm from, you see a car like that maybe every couple of months. There you see every car that you can think of that's new or popular. You see it in a weekend. Easy. You just go in front of some hotel and they'll just be there. It's crazy. So anyway, I'm not saying don't go, but
I think you're lucky to
right
experience. You're lucky to experience that. Most people don't get to experience going to the UAE.
Well, look, it was work, so yeah, I got lucky that somebody asked me to do something, and I said yes.
I never stayed there. Yeah.
So
love the stories. Yeah, I know a friend of mine. He's from Germany, and he make oil rigs or something like that. Or
okay.
And he went to Bahrain. Bahrain. I don't know how to say this in correct English. Sounds German. Bahrain. Anyway, he went there and he met this girl there. You know, his Thai girlfriend. She was.
Wow.
He met her
Yeah.
in Bahrain, so she was already in Bahrain, that's an interesting,
Yeah.
very interesting.
She
place
was
to meet a
off.
Thai
You
girl.
know, I don't know if she could belly dance, but she was okay. Anyway,
Being in Bahrain, she'd be more useful doing the safety dance. You could dance if you want to.
$19 for a lap dance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, Bahrain is it's one. I think it was like one of the first places to sign the, if I remember right, the Abraham Peace Accords, which was obviously an attempt to get Middle Eastern countries aligned with some whatever.
Do you know Paris Dakar? Paris Dakar?
Yep, the race and
Oh, the
the
rally.
rally.
Yeah. So everybody is doing that car in the desert in the Middle
Well,
East, right?
well, it depends on the route, but I mean, I haven't followed the Paris Dakar in a long time, but
Yeah,
I know that
it not goes from Paris Dakar anymore. It goes from Bahrain
correct.
to
Different routes, correct. Different routes. Same as like the whatever. Yeah, the Paris Dakar rally. Yeah, it's different now than how it really originated. But yeah, I didn't do Paris Dakar with the guy. No, because that that would have been dangerous. No. No, just normal driving.
Come on,
Just
man, the
normal.
desert. I love it.
We did.
Have you seen?
Mark, you say that. You say that. Sorry to interrupt you. You say that, but there's
Yeah,
like
no worries.
outside of Dubai, maybe like 30 minutes, 25 minutes. When he first took me to the desert, he took me to a place where you could see more cars, more trucks, more 4x4s, and all that stuff. So basically, there's this big sand dune, and I think there's one guy who's a Thai genre blogger, CB Media. He's been out there, so or one of those types of places. So there's like this big dune, this big sand dune, and it just keeps going like an exponential curve, just keeps getting steeper and steeper. And the people build
Damn.
dune buggies or sand buggies with like 600-700 horsepower engines to go all the way up to the top, just because.
Yeah,
Like
man.
it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, it
Crazy.
sounds.
So they do certain things. Plus, I think I've seen for like Yas Marina, they also have like a quarter-mile track, so like a drag strip. So they also do drag racing in the UAE. I'm sure in all of the Emirates. But yeah, um, yeah, the being out there like when they go up the dunes and then you see the people like not make it and then the motor die and then they have to go backwards and hard to turn around and oh my god, yeah, it was cool. It was cool to watch.
All right, I think I'm gonna end. I think I'm gonna end this because, what time is it? Oh, it's almost 9.
I don't know.
It's almost 9. Well, I'm still actually not sleepy, so I might go do other nefarious things at some point in the near future. But I'm probably gonna end this now. I do want to catch up on the news, and I hope to.
Wait, I see. Last question.
Yeah.
Because CNN was sold
Yeah.
by Paramount.
Yes, I do know the history behind it.
Netflix
It's not a
tried
positive
and
thing. It's not a positive thing what's going on because of
do
the
you
Ellison
think?
family that might be trying to unload it to another, just like happened to CBS, which got gutted of their
Similar, yeah.
their neutral bias on reporting. CNN might share the same
Do
fate.
you think the news will change, or
Yes.
it's gonna be left or right, or is it like Trump, or
if the news changes on CNN, it's going to change towards the right. which is not a good thing. You should always have checks and balances on things like you always want. It doesn't matter whether it's Democrat or Republican. You always want checks and balances so people could actually see what's going on. But unfortunately, what Trump is doing is not good for. And the head of the FCC, Brandon Carr, is owned by Trump, so that's not a good sign. That's what I'll say about that. Overall,
cheers.
it's not
Sorry.
a good. Yeah, no, it's okay.
I had to ask.
You don't. You have to be sorry. Like, it's not a good sign when media companies are being bought out and owned by someone that has an agenda. On either side, but especially on this side, because we've seen now what's been happening on CBS with Barry Weiss. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Chris, for coming on too.
Yeah, no worries, man.
And we'll chop it up and we'll pump it through, hopefully within a couple days.
All right, man. No worries. Cheers.
Cheers. Thank you.
Cheers, man. Cheers, Chris. Cheers, C.
Hey, cheers, Mark.
Love
Thank
you
you.
all.